What's going on, guys? Welcome in, welcome back. These messages ride in on the frequency of love for the highest good. Take what resonates, leave what does not. Big plane. Deepening. I was feeling like taking flight because of the plane, and then I was like, you're traversing like a deeper new cavern of self here for someone. Interesting. Once you're on earth for enough lifetimes, your old soul will begin to long for non-grasping, detachment, and surrender. They bring you peace. They bring the peace of God. Interesting. There is a black cat on the card here. 4-4 on the timer. Yeah, that's significant. Nature. But like, this is the peace and the presence of the divine, receiving. Hold on, I want to get clarification real fast before I say something. Okay, so yeah, I pulled receiving in reverse, and I just kind of felt like I wanted to pull another one for clarification because there's a worth, and someone's working on deepening their they're deepening their like self-value practice in order to like be open to receive what they're worthy of. Does that make sense? So you have to like reinstill your worth in order to know what you're worthy of, and then you'll know what you want to receive, and that's like the working backwards aspect. If you already know what you want, then you know what you don't, right? So like, for many of us in this collective, you can actually flip it around and be like, oh wow, that's why everything was so hard, because all you were doing was just giving this whole ass laundry list of shit throughout your life, and you were just like, put in this environment, put in this environment, put in this environment, put in this environment, then this one, then this one, then this one, then this one, then this one. And it was kind of like, okay, check, like no, 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 maybe, but no, like, so really it's like this beautiful act of just surrender, because you're like learning all the things that you don't want all the way up until you're like remembering all the things that you are, if that makes sense. So it's like, that's like this, like, you're already so close actually when you're feeling this like lack of worth, because I'm like, wait, like you're so close. Don't stop now, because you're so fucking close. Like, it's almost like you have to hit that place, that like almost like rock bottom, where you just like give it all over and just like literally beg to receive what the fuck you need instead of what you think you need. And like, watch what happens. Kind of feeling like a little lightheaded right now, which is interesting for someone here. Okay, new life in reverse as well. Boundaries in reverse as well. Okay, this is right. So for someone here, there's like a new, this is interesting. Your boundaries are directly after what you, once you decide and reinstill your worth, again with the boundaries, your boundaries are so, from this vision I'm seeing you in, after you're like deepened and been open to receiving and reinstilled all your worth, and you're standing on that purified land that you built, now the energy that after this will be like, okay, now it's a boundary, still, solid, grounded. And like, I am seeing these are in the reverse, so for whoever this message is for, that might not be the case yet. So we're gonna talk into the future, and then like, we're gonna go on both sides of this. So like, then that will be the boundary, right? And that was what I was talking about around like being open to receive, and then being like knowing exactly what you want to receive, and then only making choices from that place only, and that will bring this directly into a new life, because what you're doing is you're now making decisions only based on the new boundary and the new self-worth, 444 on the timer, that you have claimed, that you've stood on, that you have worked like on, and this will be something, like I was saying, this is a long list of shit here. So it's almost like you had to fall from grace, you know, several times for someone here in order to really deeply understand, like, wow, actually, no more of this. Like, you really, like, are standing on what you deserve and what you want now, because you know that what you want is not selfish anymore. What you want is actually what you need from this side of things, you know? Breath. Being, like, on this side of things, it does feel this, like, weight lifted, you know, and there's an energy of contraction and anxiety when you're, like, fighting what is, and someone here is learning how to, like, have to literally, like, give everything over and just release and say, please, like, help me, like, whatever higher power, like, there is, like, just help, like, you know, and you'll be surprised to find, like, that whatever this is, it is completely, to me, like, reversible. Everything completely is what it wants to happen here. It wants to happen here, you know? I think that, like, that's the most beautiful thing about nature and healing, and that, like, there have been miraculous, like, feats in, like, health and technology and this and that and that and this. And every single time that happens, we are like, we give it up over to the people who, like, oh my God, you did it! Thank you so much! Yeah! Thank you! And we are so thankful. We are so fucking thankful. And at the same time, I think we're, like, not even taking into consideration the fact that, like, dude, you literally are nature. You are conscious nature unfolding. That is a miraculous thing that you have, like, agency over observing. And when you pull your energy back and you apply the self-love that you give so freely to the world, you try to love, you try to love, you try to love, this is where the boundaries fall off. This is where your new life can't arrive, because you're giving energy into areas and places and circumstances and situations, relationships and things that, like, kind of are, like, bumping up against, like, the deeper desire. And then when you're not following the deeper desire, you're not able to breathe into this kind of space and allow energy to, like, be new and renew, you know what I mean? And so, like, every single thing is reversible here. There's absolutely nothing that cannot be undone in this space with this practice. So anyone, anywhere, anytime, no matter what has happened, right, can set themselves free. And that's what this work is about setting yourself free, you know, in the way that you have so beautifully, like, over your life, throughout your life. And again, the deepening card is coming up here too. And I'm just feeling like once you're on earth for long enough lifetimes, your old soul will begin to long for non-grasping, detachment, and surrender. And I'm feeling like this energy of, like, reaching and, like, trying and exerting and moving and shaking and grooving and putting pieces together and grinding, like girl bossing, whatever it is for you. It's just, like, not the vibe. It's just not the vibe. Like, it's not working, right? Like, what? It's not working ultimately, like, for your spirit, for your creative genius. Like, it's just not working at some point, you know? So for whoever this message is for, like, you are either, like, on this side of it, or you're, like, moving through something where you're like, yeah, this isn't really working for me now, and I gotta do something here. I want to do something here. And also, how about this? You get to do something here. Because for all of those things that I was seeing on that checklist that you have marked off for whoever this message is for, that is not only that, those were wins. Remember, we're looking at everything backwards. Those were wins. You ascended through that level, and, like, you literally, like, were moving up and out of the level even before you were in the level. And that was, like, really frustrating and bothersome to a lot of people, like, around that throughout your eras of life. They're like, why can't we, like, and if you see it through this lens too, because you're like, dang, like, nobody gets me and I just want to be, like, seen and understood. But now from this side of things, you're actually like, oh, dude, I never was supposed to fit in. You're like, I was never supposed to fit in. And that was the point. That was the point. And so all those things that you ascended through, that you learned through, like, and that you are committed to continuing to learn through. You're not like, all this work is just continuing to deepen, showing up first time, every time. You don't 10-10 on the timer, you don't know anything, you're just there, you're just present, you're just available to what is, moment to moment. This is your life, this is how to live, you know? Like, this is we're having and using a human experience, right? It's giving me like very Sanford Meisner energy right now, and I feel like that is all about being present, right? And so when you're present, you understand how you feel about what you're seeing and hearing and doing, right? So when you're present and you're deepening this awareness and you're open to receiving, you can come to realizations and understandings about not only, like, you know, your inner world, but then all of a sudden, like, how you're going to move through the world into your new life with your new boundaries that are like so stunning and beautiful. And if that's like a confronting thing for someone here who's like really working on your worth, right? I understand. I'm hearing shame, you know, guilt, will be feeling lonely, right? Maybe there is that 11-11 on the timer, that contracted feeling in the breath, you know. And I think that like there's growth opportunity here for someone to work deeply on their worth right now, because it's like I'm just getting the energy of like, you know, no one can do it for you, for whoever this message is for. Maybe you've done it, okay? But for someone out there, I think, needs to hear this, like, this is a practice that you have to do for yourself, you know? And you might have to go it alone for a minute, but to be honest with you, there's, again, on the other side of this boundary is a new life with beautiful boundaries, right? Like, these animal instincts are back, you know? And I'm getting that energy of the feline too, right? I got the jaguar here, cheetah maybe, and then the black cat from the beginning. So, you know, being open to receive is also knowing what 12-12 on the timer you're worthy to receive as well. So I love this. I love this energy. I love this reading, and I love this curriculum for someone here who's working on this. Self-forgiveness comes forward, right, for someone. Self-forgiveness. Forgive yourself for the judgment. Forgive yourself for the action. Forgive yourself for a misperception. Just forgive yourself as often as you can for someone here who's working on your valuing yourself and your self-worth. You know, that's what's going to set you free, is self-forgiveness. You don't need anyone to be different than they are in order for you to be okay. You have to just set yourself free. And you're doing it so beautifully. Okay, guys, thanks so much for being here for another reading, and I hope to see you in another one very soon. Bye, guys.